Okay. So I actually started explaining this, and then I was like, this is like kind of confusing. So I'm starting over from the beginning. This is where I'm going to get into music theory, and it'll give you like a little bit deeper of an understanding of how like music works. But it is also kind of hard to explain, especially once you understand it, and then trying to explain it to someone who hasn't really heard anything about it before. Um, so the first place to start is the musical alphabet. We've got, we know it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it goes back to A. We know that there's no um, H chord or anything like that, right? So we've got A through G, and like the purest, the thing where like everything is all centered around in like the music world is the C major scale. So the C major scale is just C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then the octave up is the C, and it repeats from there. So there's no sharps or flats in that whole thing. Whereas if I go to say like the G major scale, there's one sharp in there, and then the D major scale, there's two sharps, and it goes, kind of in a circle like that, which I'll get into more in a little bit. But so you got C to C, no sharps, no flats. So it's like, um, you know, the quintessential scale, and that's so a C major chord is constructed around the C major scale. Okay, to make a C major chord, you take the root, the third, and the fifth. The root is also known as like the first or the tonic. It's the first note of that, so it's always going to be C for a C major um, chord or scale or whatever. So so you got C, D, E, sorry, F, G. All right. So C, E, G. All right, and what that is a C major triad, which is just your basic C major um, chord. So you're probably asking yourself, if it's just C, E, G, why do I play 5 strings with a C chord? Well, if you break it down, it's C, E, G, C, E. So after the C, as long as the first note, the lowest pitched note is C, everything after that could be any combination of um, E's and G's and C's. Um, so that's your C major chord. Now, let me think of a good example. Now, if I go to the A scale, okay, the A scale has 3 sharps in it, and that's it has an F sharp, a C sharp, and a G sharp. So you don't have to remember that right now. But if I want to make an A major chord, it's going to be, I'll figure out a better way to do this time. A, B, C sharp, D, and E. All right, so 1, 3, 5 there would be A, C sharp, E, and that would be the A that we know. That's A, E, C sharp. I'm sorry. A, E, A, C sharp, E. But say I wanted to construct an A chord, an A chord, I'm saying, not necessarily major or minor. Within the C scale, it wouldn't have that sharp, right? If I went from the A and then went up 2 notes, got the C, went up another 2 notes, got the E, the A chord constructed within the C major scale is going to be a minor chord. Okay, that's called its relative minor. So that's why I was saying earlier how the A minor and the C sound really nice together. And you you have to move that one finger too. They're very similar. And there's countless songs where you're going to hear that C to A minor. So that's the point of this that I'm trying to make, is that when you construct chords within the C major scale, they're not all going to be major, they're not all going to be minor. They're going to be all different depending on how how you structure it. So all the chords that you could use in the key of C would be C, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, the relative minor, B diminished, which is the real weird one, and then back to the C major. And then you would notate, like, if basically the C is known as the 1 chord, the F is the 4 chord, the G is the 5 chord, that makes sense. The only thing is that if you're referring to this kind of stuff, you use Roman numerals and not just, English numerals, I'll call them. So it would look like this, and just look at the bottom part, the chord scale. So that's how all those things are constructed. And actually, if you look at the top, you can see how the scales add a sharp or a flat each time when you go up in a certain way. So yeah, that 1 chord is the C, E, G, then D, F, A is minor. So you'll see that the major chords are capitalized Roman numerals, and then the minor chords are lowercase Roman numerals. And then this weird one that that B diminished is a lowercase Roman numeral, and then in the top right of it, it has like a 0 with a slash through it, like a null set. So that's a good intro to it. I hope it's not too complicated. I'm going to get next into how and why you add those sharps as you go around. That's called the circle of fifths. So I'm going to stop there and get into it for the next one.